Trump is getting booed. All right, we finally got to see Donald Trump's Al Smith dinner that he's been hyping up for the past week, that he's been incredibly dramatic about on Truth Social, and it was a disaster. It was the usual mess where he was slurring his way through. He was making jokes, but he was making jokes meant for his MAGA cult to a non-MAGA cult crowd. So the laughs were very muted, if they existed at all. And when I say jokes, I mean he says something in a raspy voice while leaning over the podium, hoping that people laugh. You know, with 19 days to go, we have no time to waste. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and let me warn you before we hop into this video, this will be raw, unfiltered American politics. We have a lot to cover because today has been wild, so I want to start here. Today, Bret Baier went on Fox News and admitted that he made a mistake during his interview with Kamala Harris last night. He says, quote, "I did make a mistake," and then he explains that he played the wrong clip. You know, let me lay the groundwork by showing you where Kamala Harris calls him out for playing the wrong clip. She calls him out for it.
If he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States, why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What is
God,
it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you,
that was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times. And
dude, he totally looks like a kid with his hand caught in the cookie jar. I'm sorry to pause it while VP Harris is speaking, but just look at him. Look at his body language. Genuinely, like a kid who just got caught. He just got caught. And VP Harris is so firm, yet respectful, yet confident at the same time. She says, "Brett, I'm sorry, with all due respect, that clip was not what you played." And then she even doubles down when he tries to respond, and he starts stuttering.
Showed in all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said.
So Kamala's making a great point here, and the thing is, I explained this in my video yesterday, women candidates across the globe, but especially in the United States, are always walking a tightrope, where if you are a little bit too firm or commanding, people will say that you were too harsh. But if you're not firm or commanding, you will get walked all over, so you have to walk a tightrope, and VP Harris was doing that perfectly here. But of course, MAGA people came out and said that when she got stern right here and said that Donald Trump, what he does is unacceptable, which is true. She acted presidential. Presidents need to be stern, and she's running for president. MAGA on Twitter said that was an example of her losing it, of her being deranged, because she raised her voice 0.2 decibels. Come on. But here's Bret Baier admitting that he made a mistake. And I want to know what you guys make of this before I give my opinion. Do you guys think that Bret Baier is lying here to cover his ass, or did they genuinely air the wrong clip?
Harold, I did make a mistake, and I want to say that Mistake. When I called for a soundbite, I was expecting a piece of the enemy from within, from Maria Bartiromo's interview, to be tied to the piece from your town hall, Harris, where you asked the former president about the enemy from within. It just had the piece about the town hall, and just take a listen to what I meant to roll.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics, and I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
My point was that we asked him the question about that sentence. And
okay, so Bret Baier admits that he made a mistake, and here's what I think is happening. We know for a fact this was one of Fox News' largest viewed events of the year, maybe their largest viewed event. It had 7.1 million views, which beat Kamala's interview with Dana Bash, which beat all of Trump's recent interviews. It was Kamala's most viewed interview of this election cycle. My point is, I think someone in the back room, and this is me just speculating, kind of pulled the plug on this moment and said, you can't play this full Trump clip to 7.1 million Fox News viewers. They said, if you play Trump talking about the National Guard to 7.1 million of our viewers, we will get nuked off air. I mean, Trump will pull our licensing if he wins the presidency, and it'll ruin our reputation with MAGA, essentially. So I don't know, maybe I'm giving Bret Baier too much charitability, but I feel like Bret Baier genuinely was a little bit annoyed that they played the wrong clip. He kind of looks into the camera there for a second, and he seems like he's a little bit annoyed that the wrong clip played. I mean, of course, this dude is spineless. We should not give any charitability to this dude, but I think he got screwed over by Fox News execs. Here is Clinton, who just went viral. President Clinton said, I'm only 2 months younger than Donald Trump, but I don't spend 30 minutes swaying around. This clip has 40,000 likes already.
I don't know how many more elections I'll be involved with, and I'm too old to gild the lily. Heck, I'm only 2 months younger than Donald Trump. But good news for you is I will not spend 30 minutes swaying back and forth to you. I've played enough music, I will not clap off beat. Nor will I pretend to be a conductor. Because we got a race to win. And we have to win it.
It is crazy to me that Bill Clinton was the president decades ago, and he's still younger than Donald Trump is now running for president. Now, before we jump into the clips from Donald Trump today, I want to show you a really awkward moment with Elon Musk in Pennsylvania. I mean, incredibly awkward. A hardcore election denier yaps Elon's ear off. I'm going to play halfway through the clip to save you guys the first 90 seconds, but he tries to hand Elon this book, and Elon doesn't know how to respond. He turns into a stumbling mess. He doesn't know what to say. Watch.
You know, Department of Injustice.
What I'd like you to do, Elon, is I don't want to take too much time, and I know this is kind of a shock, but we have a book here, Parallel Election. I have a Supreme Court case, and I have the federal suits here. We've called your people. We've called the people who are supposed to be helping. We have hundreds of people right now ready. Yeah. They're out taking videos. They're training poll workers.
Can I just say, this is Elon Musk meeting the average Twitter user nowadays. I mean, Elon Musk interacts with these people on Twitter and says, yeah, I agree with your conspiracy theories, but look how uncomfortable he gets when he has to talk to them in person.
And we are not getting support from many of the people in the first front rows here. And their pictures, if you want to know who they are in this book.
Well, let's. What I recommend is to post content on the X platform, and then people can argue and say it's right or wrong, but you know, if you have videos or evidence, then post them publicly on social media, and then people can judge for themselves. Exactly. Okay, great. Excellent. Thank you.
Incredibly awkward moment from Elon Musk, and then hours later, Trump takes the stage for the Al Smith dinner in New York City, and let's hear what he says about Mayor Adams immediately.
It's about time. It's about time. Mayor Adams, good luck with everything. They went after you. They went after you, Mayor. Yeah, boy, I knew that. 9.5 months ago, I said, he just said something about the administration. He's going to be indicted any moment.
Man, Trump is a terrible judge of character. He's now buddy-buddy with Eric Adams because he's a criminal. They do say criminals sail together. They're allies.
Guess what happened? But you're going to win. I think you're going to win. I know you're going to win. So good luck. Good luck.
Now Donald Trump is a big fan of Eric Adams simply because he got indicted. This is honestly beyond parody, and it plays into this dynamic that Donald Trump is always creating where he's playing cat and mouse with the justice system. He's always acting like it's being weaponized. Here is him taking the stage. Here's the first joke he made, which kind of bombed.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor. And they told me under no circumstances are you allowed to use a teleprompter. And I got up here and I see there's this beautiful teleprompter. So
good one, Trump. I mean, it's so unprecedented to have a candidate who kind of just spitballs through all of his speeches. I know he obviously relies on a teleprompter, but we have hundreds and hundreds of moments just from this campaign, or just from this cycle, where he's honestly just rambling and yapping about whatever. Imagine being a campaign manager who's worked in politics your entire life. You have worked through the Reagan administration, you have worked through the Bush administration, and then you have to write speeches for Trump, and he just walks on stage and completely says whatever he wants. It has to be frustrating. Here's Donald Trump using his Barack Hussein Obama line in New York City. This is Jim Gaffigan.
Told Barack Hussein Obama, they quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him.
Dude, most people in the back are like, what is this guy on about? What is he yapping about? And I think the worst part is when one person in the back laughs, it's actually kind of funny, and Trump was like, oh, he got the joke. Everybody gets the joke. Everybody gets it. Nobody, it's not flying over anybody's head, man.
Only a few people got that.
He said only a few people got that. No, everybody got it. Look at Chuck Schumer's face as all of this unfolds. You can see him at the bottom right.
Joe told Barack Hussein Obama, they quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But he's...
You can see Chuck Schumer shaking his head. Here's Trump receiving some boos.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Trump is getting booed. Trump is getting booed at the Al Frank dinner in New York City. Let me play it one more time and crank up this volume on here so you guys can totally hear the boos.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, maybe because you said Barack Hussein Obama and then repeated the joke and then cited Rush Limbaugh. And as Aaron Rupar points out, the dynamic is really weird because Trump is basically just doing his rally speech at the Al Smith dinner, but the audience is laughing like it's supposed to be some weird comedy. Are they laughing at him? Are they laughing with him?
The two candidates for president are supposed to exchange good-natured barbs, and you know we get along very well. I didn't like Biden very much, and now I like him quite a bit. You know, and now I say that she's much worse than him. He was a much better candidate than her, actually. And when we hopefully win, dispose of her, I like her a lot, but right now I can't stand her. It's true. I can't stand her. I've never liked people that I was competing against. When you do, a lot of bad things happen, and we are doing well. By the way, the votes are starting to come in. You got to get out and vote. And Catholics, you got to vote for me. Just remember. You better remember I'm here, and she's not. I could have done that too.
The entire time, Chuck Schumer is down here smirking because he knows it is ridiculous. I have another clip of Trump to play, but first, I do want to show you what he was saying leading up to this. He said a few hours back, just found out that Lion Kamala is doing a video message tonight instead of being at the Al Smith dinner. She shouldn't be allowed to do a video message. Kamala should be there like almost every other presidential candidate in history except Walter Mondale, who lost 49-1. They don't give me the option of a video message, nor would I have done it. This is very disrespectful to everyone involved. She should be here or lose the Catholic vote. Donald Trump is complaining about someone breaking precedent in a presidential election. He literally ducked out of the primary debates. He refused to do a second debate with Kamala. He refused to do the 60 Minutes interview that has been the precedent for 60 years. He refuses to do anything that is the precedent, and then he wants to flip it on Kamala. It's honestly just absurd. Here's Donald Trump looking over to Chuck Schumer and saying that the Democratic Party is woke.
Because, you know, the votes that are coming in very, very strong, a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president. And
Good one.
He said, do you mind if I do that? And he said, no, you got to do what you got to do. He's a pro. He's a professional. No, he's a good man, actually. I hate to say it. Don't ever use it against me, please. They'll say, this dinner was really setting me back when I say that. But I've known him a long time.
Look how hard he's struggling to read in this segment. Look at this.
But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses,
he's like sounding out the words, basically. He's at the point where he's sounding out the words on stage. Here's Trump trying to execute more roasts, which were obviously written by somebody else, but he's struggling to read them. Genuinely struggling to read.
If Democrats really wanted to have someone not be with us this evening, they would have just sent Joe Biden. You know, he's having second thoughts, you know that, right? He wants to come back. If she does any worse in the polls, they're going to bring him back again, I think. Chuck, he's going to do it. He's the one that got him out. That's the guy. Much more so than Crazy Nancy, I will tell you. Because I know him. He did it. Joe has almost disappeared from...
Either way, Trump has been hyping up this dinner for a week, and it was disastrous. He got booed, and I am glad. If you enjoyed this video, if you appreciate what I do, make sure you drop a like, double check to make sure you're subscribed, comment some blue hearts. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.